Hey everybody, it's Lawrence, lawrencelanoff.com. Listen, I want to talk to you today about this. I was in a New Year's party last week speaking with a close friend of mine, and she asked me what I thought about this subject, the subject of cheating. She said that she felt guilty about stepping out on her boyfriend, which led him to break up with her on New Year's Eve. So she asked my opinion, and of course I already knew she wouldn't like what I was going to say, and honestly, neither will you. Here's why. Because I actually don't believe a woman can cheat, ever. But before you go running to your mommy, screaming to put out the fire, let me explain. Cheating harkens back to a time in our culture when women were considered property, women as property. The idea was this, that your body in general and your vagina specifically belong to me. Therefore, I also own the entire right to the entirety of your sexuality, your breasts, your body, your everything, right? So if you then have sex with somebody else, my personal vaginal body property has been diminished in its essential value. Furthermore, if we follow this through, it's become polluted by the sperm or the sweat or the energy of another person. And that's bad. So a woman is required by our culture to repress and monitor her sexuality at all costs. We have retained both the ideal of ownership and the story that a vagina can be polluted by another human into our modern day relationship constructs. We truly believe that we have the right, in fact, the duty to keep our partner's genitals in line and own them. But we don't have that right. Because of these beliefs, however, it is typical for us to blame a woman for not wanting to have sex, or if she goes cheating. Which leads me to the second issue. A woman not getting fucked well by her primary partner and therefore not wanting to have sex. I meet so many guys that complain of this. At some point we have to ask, is it about them or is it about us? Because she may be asking, is the juice worth the squeeze? In my experience, a lot of people are having sex like 15-year-olds, frozen in teenage times, where we're running bases, we're afraid to ask for what we truly want sexually, and without our words, sex remains confusing and mysterious, and so people don't know where to go, so they look to porn to get their how to have sex cues met. And as we've said many, many times, porn sex is actually for the viewer's benefit, not for the performer's benefit. So learning about sex from porn sex it just has us perpetually stuck in like the flavor of the month ice cream that leaves at least one of the partners with empty calories and kind of a sense of sexual dissatisfaction. And that is the issue. So as far as I can tell, there is a lot of mediocre sex happening out there, and even bad sex. So eventually, if the sex is bad enough and there's no depth and there's no connection and there's no excitement, we look around to see what else is happening. Some people keep it to the world of fantasy, but others actually step out into the world, which leads me to my friend at the New Year's party. She said she cheated on her boyfriend because there was something wrong with her. My therapist, she said, says I have intimacy issues, and she quipped this tritely as if it was some wow, great realization. Mid-sip, I laughed and eggnog came out my nose, and I suggested that she probably cheated on her boyfriend, not because of intimacy issues, but simply because she wasn't getting laid well at home for a long period of time. She smiled, she blushed, and shyly said yes, the sex was terrible. So out she went hunting for something more exciting. And when she finally was found out by her boyfriend, or her husband, she was filled with self-blame and self-recrimination, and she went to self-abuse. How could I? How could I? How could I? How could you? I responded. Sex sucked. You needed some good sex. Headline news. Because that's never happened before in history. Headline news. And I could see the sense coming back to her, and I could see relief fill her body. And then I told her what I'm about to tell you, which is this. I believe a woman can never cheat because I do not own my partner's genitals. And if I fundamentally, at the core of my being, believe that I don't own my partner's genitals, then cheating is not possible. I break it down this way. Presumably, I'm in a relationship with an adult. As an adult, my partner is free to do with her pussy whatever she desires. That's the truth. She's a big girl. She can make her own decisions about her womb and her vagina. And if it turns out I'm not fucking her well and she needs to go out looking, it's her prerogative to get her sexual needs met. It's also her prerogative to use her voice. And even if I am fucking her well, and even if she is using her voice, and even if she is asking for what she wants, she may want a different flavor of ice cream from time to time. The bottom line is this. It's a big world, she's an adult, and I don't own her. And I don't own her pussy. Her pussy's been free, it's always been free, and everything else is just a cultural story about pollution, property, and possession. And honestly, that is a story that I have no interest in playing any longer. I have an interest in dismantling this and freeing the pussy and freeing the vagina in my own world, in my mind. I don't own anybody and you are free. That is the fundamental truth. Now, I know you're gonna have comments, so feel free to comment below. If you like this video and you like what I'm saying, or at least you're curious about it, please share it with your friends. I would love that. Share it with your girlfriends who are feeling guilty and ashamed because of their desires. Share it, start a discussion, feel free to comment below. I know you'll have something to say. And I wanna thank you. I wanna thank you for listening. I know this can be a tough subject, so thank you. And I will see you in the next video. If you want to right now, shoot over to lawrencelanoff.com if you want to know more about touch skills, or if you want to hear about my female product that is designed to help you free your pussy, then head over to lawrencelanoff.com now, subscribe to my email list, and as I said, if you like what you're seeing here, subscribe to my channel. Also, I have lots of ideas about how to have better sex, and you can find those at tantrax.com, tantrax.com. That's for the men in your life who really need to learn how to be better, more skilled lovers. Until the next time, it's Lawrence, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks so much for listening. I actually really do appreciate it. I know sometimes I say things that piss people off, but you know what? Somebody's got to say it. It might as well be me. I'll see you soon. Thanks.